Ding. Fingers crossed any of this is working. I had did a whole bunch of changes on the back end here for trying to eliminate IRT lag issues and, you know, make this as efficient and as stripped down as I could get it. So this is quite a test, as I put in the chat. Typically, I mean, yeah, I'm not really too interested to be doing these ORB trade analysis anymore. I haven't really found any positive, interesting trade opportunities for the ES with the strategies that I'm using. So having said that, I thought it would be a real good idea to try to test out all of these changes that I've made this afternoon and over the weekend here. And looks like everything's okie dokie. I mean, this is the flowback, so I'm not expecting any big data drama. That usually happens at the RTH Open. But anyway, on with the show here. This is risk neutral trading. This is my virtual trading journal. The idea here is that I capture wrong one. All of the video from my two main trading monitors, which are, hold on a minute here, which are Bookmap here and IRT, Investor RT. Now, this is my basic charting package, and Bookmap is where I execute. So I'm just kind of seeing if everything is working here. Been having some real bad lag problems with particularly IRT. So I've dedicated portions of the CPU, and I've got OBS off to the GPU, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Who knows? It is streaming, and that's a real good sign, because I wasn't sure about all of that, and it says it's excellent. Watching for drop frames. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, back to the basic stuff. So this is my virtual trading journal. The idea here is that everything's captured on my two monitors, and my voiceover provides what I was thinking at that moment to the recording, gives it, which completes a fully transparent, fully accountable trade journal. And I only trade live on stream. I never take any trades off the stream. And all trades are live and real time. Obviously, if you watch this recording 2 days from now or 2 weeks from now, it will be a recording, but this is a live real stream. And if I take a trade tonight, I will be here and here forever. Now, the reason for these streams actually is because of my commitment to not take any trades off the stream. And so when I started doing this investigation into the Globex and the Asian orbs, I wanted to find out if there was any interesting opportunities. And so I have to live stream them, because if there is and I take a trade, well, then there we are. There you have it. So that's what's going on. Again, only live trades, only real time, never replay, never recording, never any of this, replay, rearview mirror BS. Oh, I saw this and this was a double top and I got short here and blah, 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 all that internet guru kind of crap. I don't ever do any of that. So there we are. Now, having said that, this stream is not meant for trade or financial advice, and there is a disclaimer in the description. But how could I possibly have a trading journal if I didn't record trades? So You have to understand that it is a trading journal, my trading journal, and I share it openly and with full transparency and accountability, basically to ensure both of those things. So there we are. Yeah. Let's see now. Seems like it's working. That's pretty cool. That's a good sign, huh? Made a lot of changes to the encoding and all kinds of stuff in the background to straighten out and optimize settings to the hardware. We'll see. The big question will be in the morning when the data, when we have the open about, by the way, all times that I refer to and that are visible on my charts are Central Standard Time or UTC +5. No, I'm sorry, UTC -5, excuse me. And I guess they passed a law. We're not going to go back and forth off of daylight savings anymore or something. I don't know. I heard about that. Saw that on some ground news or somewhere. Not sure what that's going to mean and here we go. Quite shockingly, of course, which is pretty typical of the markets. The war has just about ratcheted up to where it was, hotter than it was ever before in Iran, and of course the market is trading up, so that's a good thing. Jesus, I don't get it really. I still don't understand, but nobody asks what I think or what I understand. So there you go. Again, this is in addition to my analysis of whether there's some opportunities here, and we'll start looking at the orb trade here pretty quick. We've only just kicked off 9 o'clock or 1700, right? So we're looking at the Asia orb. I have Blue Boy here already, which is just a vertical line that I put on the first print of every session. That way I can glance to my left, and if I see this Blue Boy over here, and I know that this is the inside market, there's no question that I have the entire context in view. That's the thinking. Now, I'm going to put one on for the just temporarily here for this one. That's close enough, I guess. That's the beginning of the Asian orb. So what we're going to be looking for is the low and the high of the first 1 hour, because I have these orbs configured exactly the same as the initial balance in the RTH session. So it's important for the data tools that I'm using to know which level formed first. So far, the low formed first. There's the low, there's the open, there's the low, and there we are. There we go. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes. When IRT over here is where I develop strategies and back test them and forward test them. And an example of that would be here. I just restarted all this stuff. I restart all my machines and do check for updates and all that crap. What is this? I don't want to do that. Check for updates and all that crap every weekend on Saturday, so I don't get any surprise restarts through the week. But the way this I've done this so far, this is an initial balance, which of course is in the RTH session strategy that was developed. The computer checks every one of these rules every 30 seconds. And if it validates correctly, then it'll take a trade. I send the results to this chart, which is the chart has nothing to do with the system, apart from the fact that these levels and zones are accurate with the rules. These are just indicators I built. And the purpose of these charts is that I can see visually if stuff is happening when I think it should and where I think it should. That's the whole idea. And then that's kind of how I forward test, because this thing will be trading in the simulated environment of IRT tomorrow, because this is only RTH session. So if there's trades tomorrow that are initial balance, this thing will take them. And that's how I kind of forward test, and I can back test as many days as I want. The current IB based on the Edgeful data, and we got to just go down. I didn't do any of this yet today. I'm sorry about that. But hey, it's the weekend. What can I tell you? There we go. All right. Now, this is the edgeful data that this was the IB. What I need to do now is change this to the correct one, which is 130. Oh, now, come on. Okie dokie. Now, that will... there you are. These levels, the high and the low, and these zones right here, which are just 25% of the range, will be pushed to bookmap. And they just got pushed over there now, right here. There's the high, there's the low, and there's the zone. Isn't that cute? All right, so that's how that works. And this is the current strategy that I'm working on based on edgefill data. And the reason I'm leaning on edgefill and this other stuff is when a system is built properly and it works, it's fine. It does the back testing, does the forward testing. It is very accurate, complete, comprehensive reports. I can show you that later if we're interested. But if it's just me here, I'm not gonna do that. But this takes me a long time to do because I'm not a programmer or some young whippersnapper that knows all about this stuff. So what I'm trying to do is expedite the process of statistically vetting setups, because I very definitely believe that that's the correct approach to trading. And that's because of the most successful traders in the world do it that way. So I thought, well, that's a good idea. Anyway, so that's what this is. And then the next thing we'll be looking at is, let me just check something else quickly here and make sure this is all okay. Boom. And okay, everybody's all right. Cool. Yeah, okay, great. So the tools that I'm using are this data thing called Edgeful, which is right here. Oh, what are you doing down there like that now, buddy? Get over here. And this is a tool designed to drill down into data, futures data, and give you the probabilities of various things happening. So that's essentially the initial stages of backtesting. So I thought, well, that sounds pretty cool. Let's do that. Anyway, here we go with the... I see 3 views here. I don't know who you are or where you are, but drop something in the chat. Let me make sure this mess is working, because I've got, as I say, I did a whole bunch of back-end stuff, and I have no clue, Let's hope I didn't cut my nose off to spite my face. I hope not. Anyway, let's get back with the initial balance. We're going to do the MES. We're going to do the right session here, which should be the Chicago Cash. No. Asia. Where am I doing here? Should be Chicago, Asia. And so here we go. The way this works is you start out from as with any kind of data analysis with trading, you start from the top down, right? That's how you get into it. That's the way to go. So, here we are. You just make sure that all these things are correct. Make sure that there's no goofy custom stuff. Nope. Okay, that's good. And we'll see how we go. So there's a 78% probability generally that we're going to have a single break of the initial balance. But let's look at the by day of the week. So it's Monday, because this is trading for Monday tomorrow now, right? And I know we're going to have to clean up some of these. Well, okay, great. these are the differences, substantial differences. And it always does that. So we have just put in, now let's get back to Bookmap over here. There's the low and there's the high, and we have just tagged that and are teasing with it up here. The low was put in first. We have, what do we have as far as range goes here? We've got 17, 20, 96. Oh, wow. We've got about 21 handles wide on the deal, meaning that each one of these zones is 5 points, because 4 5s is 20, right? I think. Let's get back over here then, quickly. I hope I was on the right. Was I on the right window? Let's see. Yes, I was. Okay, get back over here. Making sure all the keyboard switching works, and the mouse and the mixer, and Jesus, who knows what I might have screwed with. I'm really on the... Says excellent, no drop frame, so that's a real good thing right there. Okay. And one of the things that comes with a subscription to Edgeful is a whole bunch of indicators here, which are pretty cool. Well, these are invite only. A whole bunch of them. I've only tried out a couple, 3, but pretty cool. So one of the things that happens here is the session indicators is one of the indicators, and the IB is another one. Now I've been doing some system algo building or whatever you call it over here, so I got to get to the right. We get to the right one of these. Close this off. Let's get up here to the right. Oh, wait a second here. In the wrong window. Whatever. Everything's wrong over here. Save, you bet. Save that bad boy. There we go. Now, you notice how it just automatically starts plotting out Asia? Pretty cool, huh? But one of the things we've got to do up here is now update. Ooh, these need to be updated. Update available. Update on all charts. Update the latest version. Okay. They changed a bunch of stuff apparently. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the problem right there. Too many things open. Let's shut Mr. Candleboy off here. I've got the cheapest subscription to this thing you can get, I think. So here we are, 19. Let's first of all get the correct dashboard up here in the right-hand corner. This is just all kind of a big fingers crossed deal. Yeah, 21 points. See how cute that was? Initial balance. Let's see what is on that we want shut off. There we go. Okay. Now, what am I doing? DBPOC. This is the one I want to shut down. This is one of those algo things I've been playing with. Here we go. All right, look at that back test. Woohoo, baby, and all that big money over there. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is fun. So let's see what we've got going. Well, here's the IB from Friday. Here's our open, just, the Globex open. Well, actually, here is the curb trade until 1600 or whenever it is, and until right there. And here's the ORB Open, the Globex Open. And now here we go up here. So we have 21 points. The low was put in first. We're still ticking up. I think we've got this all happening. I can get rid of this. We've got this thing's going to take trades. I don't, that's just fun. The thing that I am mainly looking for here is the visualization, because it's so much slicker and easier to use than IRT. I can't even believe it. Anyway, the next step in our process is going to be then the rejection. This is where remember where I've said it matters which is formed first? I need more data. Oh, I know. What else is wrong? Yeah, exactly. All day. Anytime. Monday. These are all custom settings that go on in there. There you go. A little different. Huh? So, now we're in the rejection stage. We're waiting for the first 1 hour, and if the IB low was formed first, which it was, or the ORB low in this case, there is a 56% probability we will break the IB high, or the ORB high, with none of these additional settings. So, there we go. Now we're in the hold, and let's look over here. What does it look like? Well, there's the low. There's the high. Boy, are they banging on that thing, huh? And we haven't even turned 30 minutes yet, so we don't know. I'm amazed that they're doing this. They're rocking like this with the war going on. I mean, and it's not just going on, it's ramped up. Iran's blowing up. They're bombing the shit out of everybody they can find. And America started it by they started bombing Iran first, and then Iran is responding, I guess, is what you call it, which is to be expected, I suppose. It's crazy. Need to remember that 5 or 6 months ago, there was no war. There was no problem in the Straits of Hormuz. There was no shortage of fertilizer or oil or helium. This is the administration that vowed to end wars and stay out of everything, and they've started more than the last 3 presidents. Interesting, eh? It's just, I don't get it, really. And have not ended any of them. Ukraine is holding on by their teeth. They, went in and tippled over Venezuela, go in the night, snatch the president, and leave. And what have they done for them? I don't think anything. And then go blow up Iran. I don't know what they supposedly accomplished or ended, but anyway. 2 kids out in the schoolyard having a fist fight, maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Welcome to the stream. Drop your name. Where are you? Who are you? Whatever it is. This thing is supposed to be, the stream is supposed to be translating all kinds of, in a bunch of different languages. So welcome wherever you are. I've had the good fortune to live a few places, most of my adult life out of the U.S., actually. So wherever you are, I'd be real keen to know. I might have lived next door. You never know. And again, this is a live stream. If I see a trigger here, I will take it. But that's not the point of this particular stream, because I'm just testing to see if all these back office changes or back end changes I made with OBS and IRT and Bookmap are working, and seems to be. I'm going to pull up Armory Crate here in a minute and see if that end looks all right. So here is the open. This was 1700. By the way, all times here are Central Standard Time or UTC -5. There's the open. Here's 1900. This is our Asia ORB Open. Bam. Now that would have been lovely. 20 handles. That would be super to just have gotten on that. And boy, I just knew that, because I'm a rearview mirror guy. I didn't know that at all. I was still fumbling around looking for stuff here. I certainly didn't know that. I wish I had a way to understand these opening swings in the ETH sessions, not as pronounced as they are in the RTH, but boy, if you can catch one and approach it from a point of view of an asymmetrical trade location, and just mean reversion basically, outside in, profitable. Not a structured trade that I have, so I'm not doing that. All right, where am I now? Who am I? Who's on third? What's going on? We haven't gotten to the bottom of the hour yet, but we haven't even put in 30 minutes. And remember now, the first level formed is the low so far. This could go back and forth 6 times in this hour. Nobody says it's got to stay there. Let's see, I hope, let me check. Everything's going with the sound. Sounds all right. My office here and this trade desk is quiet. There's no speakers, so if I want to monitor any of the music or any of that stuff, I need to put on my headset, which I don't keep on during the day. The first part of the stream, I didn't have my boom mic and mixer and stuff. So in the first days, or weeks, whatever. So I streamed with this headset, which is a good one, and microphone and stuff. But I don't like standing with a headset on for hours and hours. Good, that sounds okay. All right, well, here we are. We're going to turn the bottom of the hour here in a minute, and then we'll be looking for the development of... And now we'll start thinking about actually trading. What did the data tell us? It said that there's a 53% probability we'll have a single break and get back over here to days of the week. What the hell is that now? What happened there? Chicago, Asia. 74% probability we're going to have a single break, and at 6% we're going to break them both. 19% we're not going to break either one. I'm pretty damn sure that the last time I looked at this, it said 53%. Now, I think it's a matter of this. I was probably using this over the weekend, and how it reloads its data. I have to remember to do that, to like update little twirly boy up here. Let's see what happens when I do that. Let's look at this. Remember when I had 6 months? Days of the week, it didn't want to know about it. It's because it's jumped back to London. Bad little pig. So anyway, this says 76%, 77% probability will single break. So that means if you look over here, there's 70% we're going to break one of these sides, meaning that there's a total 30% we don't. Well, frequently with Asia, this winds on for a long time. Let's look here. Well, it broke relatively quick on Friday at 10 o'clock. Oh, 8:10, right after it set. This is my little algorithm, the little thing that's down here, that little backtesty thing that's going on. Just fun to watch how it's doing and what it's doing. Here was the orb, and it didn't do anything till quite a long while. Again, didn't break out or didn't get a trigger until, after 10. Not trying to develop myself a bias or an opinion, but I'm trying to see what I was trying. To be honest with you, I just seeing these charts changed my opinion. I was gonna say quite often we don't break out the Asia, but actually that's the Globex that is more that's more reflective of the Globex of this one. So anyway, never mind. Trade what you see, not what you think, right? Mm-hmm. And here we are. And there we are. And it's a 2.8%. And I have got to Google them or ask them help or what the hell it is. I think that's the percentage of ATR, but how far back and, whatever else. Yeah, or, I don't know. I gotta ask them what that percentage means. IB size, it says, but size of what? How long's a piece of string, right? All right, so we're ticking along here now, 7:30-ish. You gotta think about stuff I gotta do around here or two. Well, I'm pretty pleased. Everything seems to be okay. Excellent. No drop frames. Bit rate is good. 20,000. Cool. Just putting right along. I'm going to be so pleased with this works, actually. And impressed with that AI shit stuff. Sorry. So anyway, there we are with those probabilities now. Could have swore that was different. Anyway, here we are back at the ranch. Low still formed first. There's a 38% probability we'll break the high. That's more of what I was thinking about, I guess. Mind is on 2 or 3 different things here tonight. Well, first break is the high, and first break low is actually greater, which is not typical. And what is this? 70, 80, 84%? Leaving 16% to neither break out, either, or, and but for, or, nor, neither. Well, if I were switched on and really focused and paying attention, this was a great opportunity for, it's not a vetted trade of mine, but I have to start taking some of these discretionary trades because I can't just stand here and not trade forever until I have these vetted. But I'm very clear about it when that's the case. And I'm not trying to rear view mirror, but look at how many times we tested this high, didn't push it any higher, and then came down here and didn't get it any higher. Does that mean it's going up? Well, no, it doesn't mean it's going down. But what it means is there's a fair probability that you could put an asymmetrical trade on here. In other words, short and put your stop right there. 2 ticks above, 1 tick, 1 point, whatever you want. You don't have to give it all this room and a big wide stop and 24 ticks and all that noise. If it's asymmetrical, it's either going to do it, and it is doing it, or you're going to be wrong. So what? That's the mindset that needs to be, I need to further develop. Not in hindsight, but in a minute. I mean, I'm talking about this, and I'm busy looking at the data. I should have been short, frankly. Which brings up another point that is worth talking about. Oh, I didn't do any of this keyboard stuff. Sorry about that. Oops. What I was getting ready to say was, I forgot I hadn't done any of the chapter mark. Yeah, have to be aware of these and start taking these mean reversion outlier trades. So let's get back over here now. We've rounded the corner. We've got about 20 minutes to go. Let's see if TradingView agrees with that. Yep. Now, the way this idea works is, and the way I believe you're supposed to use this data. Here's our low still. So these are the two probabilities we're looking for. We would be leaning towards a breakout low. That seems to be the most likely. Assuming that happens, then the next step is the retracement, which is, let's hope this one. Okay, Friday, nope. Monday, let's try that one. What do you think? Let's try this one over here because the initial balance size is any size, and then let's see what we get. Oh, my. All right, so we'll throw in some more data because that isn't enough. There you go. Why did I do that? Did you get it? I mean, I suppose you did. I hope I did. And for the sake of the recording, there's only one level here, and there's only 2 instances. Well, 13 days and 7 days. That's nothing, is it? That's not statistically significant. So you got to get some days on there. Still not much better, but we're getting some occurrences down here at the bottom. Let's go back and look at the 6 months. Where'd it go? Nobody move. I got it. Much less data. So you want to be sure the data you're looking at is statistically significant. And what that means is it's outside the possibility, or hopefully, of random distribution. Now, random distribution is best understood. I think everybody on the planet understands that a coin flip is 50-50. Two sides of a coin, right? 50-50. Well, I don't think anybody also in the world would be surprised if you flipped a coin 10 times and there would be way more heads than tails or vice versa. That's random distribution. You flip that coin 10,000 times and it's going to be 49 to 51. Pretty much guaranteed. That's the same thing with the market, actually. The market is just a binary event. It's 50-50. It's like a coin flip. The probability of the next trade is 50-50. Absolutely. The next tick and trade. So there you go. Now, assuming that we get a breakdown, which is what the other one said, right? We're going to break. There's a 46% probability we're going to take the IB low. Well, in that case, then what this is saying is that if we take the IB low, there's a 60% probability, without any of these additional filters yet, 60% probability we retrace to the 25% level, which means on Bookmap over here, because I have all these levels working, we take the IB low or the ORB low, which is this green guy right here. Boom. Take that out. There's a 60% probability that we will retrace to this first 25% level. There is another 30% that will retrace to the 50% level. So typically what I try to do when these things are happening is kind of interpolate between the two, right? And the idea being then that you don't take the breakout and then sit through all of this. You wait for the pullback, and then that's your entry. Now remember, these are 5 points, right? Aren't they? Let's check. Oh, isn't it cute? 5 points. There we go. So if you get long in here somewhere, you got about 7-8 points to the zone, just to the low. There's another way to approach this whole setup. If you think that if the day appears to be setting up balanced, rotational, in other words, and you break the IB low, you got a 60% probability you're going to pull back to here, mean reversion. Only 5 points, but there you go. That's the two ways that I've figured out to do this and to use this stuff. And we'll see what happens. Trading view is viewing. Yep. Okay. What am I forgetting to do, Sykes? Seems like something. I don't know what. Seems like something. Still hotter and stink over here. It's 34. Some dust up going on in the Gulf of Mexico, so I suppose there's going to be a freaking hurricane or something. That's just magic. I'm going to go refill my tea glass here, I think. Okay. Okay. Well, this is looking pretty cool here. I'm pretty happy about all that. I'm going to restart IRT now. It's what the problem has been this big lag story. I'm going to restart this and see if I can get the here's the T-Lab, the world famous T-Lab snap. I need to get settlement pulled in here. And there's no way that I know of to recalculate that ticker. If you're looking at a chart, you can see this little twirly gig down here. You can hold down the shift key and click that, and it will recalculate all the indicators on that chart. But that doesn't happen on these. These are quote pages. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just enjoying watching all this work like it should. What I'm going to do here is just restart IRT. And then it should come up with settlement and everybody where they belong. Oh, I tell you what else I might be able to do. Hold on. I got a better idea. I'm going to do the data. Here, watch this. I'm going to do the data maintenance thing. Yes, sirree, baby. Let's do some data maintenance there. Come on. Maintain that data. I don't care about what any of that trading crap. Let's go. That should, and it'll re-download everything. It ought to restart that quote page. I'm looking for the MES settlement up there. You can watch what it's doing. It's pretty interesting, actually. It's one hell of a piece of software. That didn't take long, did it? Now it's took 3.27 seconds. Market data connections closed. It's going to go back through and do something else, and then it's going to subscribe to it. It even shows the expiration date for the instrument. Isn't that amazing? It reads everything, and then, yeah, you see it already pulled in the settlement. And then lost the settlement for the MNQ. I'm not so worried about that. It'll download everything, and then it's updating all the stuff here, and there we go. Cool. So I don't have to restart it. I'm going to say, okay. Wow, that's just the way it ought to, man. If that fixed it, I'm going to be so, first of all, glad, and second of all, pissed that I didn't do it before. Yeah. What is this? 10-second lag here. That's not good on the NQ. That's not good. That's a problem right there. That's the thing that I've been trying to get away from. Yeah, that's not good. I don't like the looks of that at all. All right, I'll restart the damn thing and show you who's boss. You don't need to be watching that. Oops. All my stuff runs in admin mode, or my major. This machine only runs IRT, Bookmap, Rhythmic, and OBS. Boop. Now there's and I should say static and that stuff. Desktop stuff though, that's all it's running. The rest of it is it looks at that a lot better. Now I've got to clean up all the naked volume points of control and all that stuff, and we're all set. All these things here, right? Boom. I want the fractals. I don't know whether we need them or not. I know where they are pretty much, right? And what do we got here? That. And what do we got up here? Ooh. Okay. Look over here. Oh, nice. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass in the morning this morning because I'm still seeing a couple millisecond lag or something going on over here when I switch windows. That's just stupid. It shouldn't even be the case remotely. Let's see if T-Lab came up. Yep. All right. What else? Testing, is this going to go through the whole drama again? Yeah, I got to go through all of it. What am I doing here? Boom, 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 boom. So here we are. You'll see it looks pretty familiar, right? Right there. In the daytime, this trades. In the RTH session, it trades. I could change it in the code, but why bother? I don't care about forward testing in the orb. Sorry. Oh yeah, busy. Get rid of those fractals and get rid of that opening range thing, and here we go. Cool. Let's see about stats. There's the stats thing. This was for Friday. This is what we'll do every morning. Every morning, the stream starts at 0800 Central Standard Time, and I do the complete analysis of the pre-market, set up all the software, pull all the, identify the statistical open type for the upcoming day RTH session, pull all the new statistics in for these associated price levels, and, get all set up and ready to trade for the RTH session, the cash. Which reminds me, if I wanted to trade, I could not right now because the trade control panel is not activated. So in order to do that, I need to activate the trade control panel, which is this little padlock button right here. You click that boy, and it opens up the trade control panel, and then the first thing you need to do is select an account. And then if you're going to use the trade control panel tools, size, contracts, and all that, you could set those things up there. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use multi-brackets. So I'm going to click the button again, the padlock. I get the real estate back, and I get cancel and close, plus all the metrics. So, and you can turn these metrics off or on. They don't have to be there at all, but I like them. So then we're going to zoom back over here to something. Electric Avenue. Let's go. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. And we're going to make sure that we have the right statistic journal cooking over here. We're going to make sure that we have the multi-brackets on. And there they are. This is live trading now, remember. This is live trading in the market. So there we go. Real live trading right down there. Trading real data live. There you go. And multi-brackets. Boom. And boom. And boom. And boom. Boom. There we go. Now I could trade. I could also make a big mistake by accidentally clicking in this active data column and putting a trade in I don't mean to, happens now and then. Eyes are itching and driving me nuts. It's 8 o'clock. I need to be thinking about what I'm going to do here, what chores I've got to do around here. And what? And what now? Oh no, brown cow. Here we go. Well, we got 4 minutes in the orb sets. Ooh. So remember what we were thinking. That we'll be able to identify the ending zone and the IB. We'll put in the IB size in that data filter. In just a couple of minutes. Boop, boo. Let's get back up here to this one. There we go. Now, the IB size we can plop in there because I don't think it's going to change much. And I think it was, what was it? 0.28. Okay. Unless something radical happens, which I don't imagine is going to. So we can put that in here at 0.2 to 0.39. Yep. Now we still have this ending zone, and I'll tell you how that works real easily. Now this is dropped down to 60%, and you notice that the probability of the IB high completely went away. Let's go over here to 2 years and see if she comes back. Yeah. And it's really amazing, isn't it? Or it is to me, the difference in the amount of data. And here's something that, well, 2 years, those guys have still been in office. So, okay, what I was going to say was somebody pointed out to me, do you think that data, when I was backtesting with IRT for 5 years back, somebody said, well, do you suppose data that, a system or a strategy that worked 5 years ago would be working in this environment? When that made pretty good sense to me, and my answer was a resounding no. Okay, almost 2 minutes. Well, what's going to happen now is this ending zone, and how does that best determine? The best way to describe that is right over here. If you can see this clearly. The ending zone is determined by the closing price of the last bar to close within whatever time you have set the orb or the IB for, in my case, 1 hour. So you set the zone percentages opposite the first level formed. So it's 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100. If this bar closes right there, in this zone, it's going to be the 50 to 75 ending zone number that we'll put in. And it's going to close in a minute and change over here. So we'll stand by. I'd say it's probably going to do that. And actually, you can actually look on Bookmap over here. And there we just did it. Huh? No, we didn't yet. 37 seconds. You look on Bookmap over here, even though this is just last price, it's not the last or the candle or anything. You can see what zone it's in. What will happen here is the minute it sets, this will flesh out. And there we go. So the ending zone is 50 to 75. Here's everybody. The low was formed first. It's a bearish zone. No, it hasn't been taken out. 2.9, 21%. Cool, huh? And now we'll go down here and go back to custom again and throw this in at 50 to 75 and see what happens. Watch this. Nobody. No data. Huh. Something's screwed up there, isn't it? I'd say. I mean, what it says is that there is only low formed first. There's 3 occurrences with these percentages and with these filters in there. There's only 3 times that's happened in 5 years. That's kind of hard to believe, but it's also okay. It's data, right? Did I screw something up? No, I got the zone correct. I've got the 50 to 75 correct, and that's exactly what it is because it's goes away from the low. And we can actually even look over here and see if I'm hallucinating or something fun. $25.0 to 25 always represents the side opposite the first formed. Just what I said. And then it's just pretty simple. So, yeah, I'm right. Like I was pretty sure of, but never hurts to check. Back over to trading view. There's the zone. There's the closing candle. Here's the first formed. 0 to 25, 50, 75, 50 to 75, right there. Wow. So it says there's a 66% probability we're going to break the IB low, and there's no chance in hell we're going to take the high. Well, that's a pretty weird statistic, and I don't know what to say about that, frankly, but I'm not crazy about trading this anyway, so we'll just watch it play out. I'm more interested to see if all the stuff is working all right, and it seems to be. I wasn't looking at the right stuff here. This is what I've been looking at. Sorry, I think I've been talking in circles, but there you go. That is pretty freaking weird, actually. Pretty weird. I'm going to go out and see what Mom is up to, if I can help her with dinner or something here. Oops. I see I've made a cardinal sin here and the music pooped out. Pretty weird. Let's do something. I don't know what. How about some piano music? It's always good. Or maybe blues. Delta blues is all right. Kind of bluesy night, isn't it? Kind of a bluesy night out there. All right. Oh, this is just working out perfect. Trump's He's got this one well in hand. My God. Jesus Christ. It's just so amazing, isn't it? I mean, think about it. I think it's less than 6 months. There was absolutely no war, no Straits of Hormuz problem, no problem with oil, no problem with fertilizer, no problem with any of that crap. And nothing was different in the Middle East. I mean, you know, there was the stuff with Israel and Gaza and the whatever they're called, the Houthis or whatever it is, has been going on for 40 freaking years. That wasn't anything new. They don't have an atomic bomb. They don't have any of that stuff. Now what do we have? War. Dead people on both sides. Jesus Christ. Price is going through the roof. Really, it's just pretty freaking, sorry about that. Freaking amazing. And no trades over here, so I'm double pissed. No, not at all. All right, I'm going to go. I'm real pleased that this is working. I hope it works tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. At 8:30, I'll be over the moon. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, well, there we are, boys and girls. The orb is set at 2000. Excuse me. The predicted data probability is the low. Based on the filtering we did right here. The IB low was formed there, or orb low was formed first in this session on this instrument, and that's the probability that we'll have a 66% probability we break the low. Bizarre. And I've seen many times in recent memory here. That's the rejection. Okay. Now let's look at what happens on the retracement, assuming that we do break the low. 60% probability. Oh, no, we got to change the customs over here. Ooh, de-doo. IB high size 2 to 8. 2 to 3, okay. Save, all right. And there we go. It's if we break, they call breakdown low, breakout up. I don't know. You know, I would think break up, break down, but anyway, whatever. 46% probability that we break the low, we will retrace to the 25% zone, which means over here, if we break out, break the low, break down, do this green boy right there, that there's a 46.5% probability we retrace to here, and another 28.5% we get up here. There you go. Those are the stats. Not very peachy, and that kind of stuff. The problem that I've discovered with Asia, and it's because it lasts till 4 in the morning, and a lot of times these trades don't come. They don't throw a trigger or work out until the wee hours sometime, and I'm not going to be up doing that. And I love Asia. Lived there for 11 years, and my family were Asian. And so. That's not saying anything. It's just stating the fact that I've observed, that I think I've observed anyway. And this is what TradingView is so, I find it really a great tool. Let's crash this down and let's look at Asia. Yeah, coming. There's the entry. 10:30. Finally got a stop. I finally got a target at midnight. 9:30. Nothing 30. Middle of the freaking morning. This is 4 o'clock over here. Yeah. So I'm okay. I'm gonna go out and enjoy some repasts from my sweetest. Okay, I'll put this on mute, and the music's going, and the stream is streaming, and I'm pretty tickled. talking about the back end stuff here, all the changes I made, looks like there's no negative and potentially some real positive impact. So that's great. Let's see now. On. Okay, what happened? I hit the wrong button. Oh, well. I was aiming for the mute and miss. What can I say? Well, we still haven't got an IB or an ORB breakout yet. And I'm shutting this mess off at the top of the hour. And I'm real excited about seeing what happens at 8:30 in the morning. But remember, let's do a quick, before I have to go start doing my chores here. Let's have a quick look at what's going on. What's going on? Okay, tomorrow. What do we have tomorrow? U.S. leading index, month over month. I have no clue what that is, and I'll have to use the index thing to find out. So tomorrow is not going to be anything. Earnings season is getting off to a real big start. Wednesday is going to be Alphabet and Google and something else, if I remember correctly. This is just American earnings, by the way. There we go. Google, Tesla, both Alphabets and Tesla on Wednesday. So here we go. Gearing up. That's going to be the big thing, I suppose. And the thing that's most amazing to me is the war. The fact that nobody seems to give two craps whether, people are dying and people are being bombed and people are being, on both sides, are dying, or what? That's a big deal. I heard an amazing stat. Never mind. It's kind of depressing, so never mind. Oh, look at us go. We broke out just now. All right, and here's what I'm talking about Asia. They just broke it out. And now we have a 25% probability, or whatever the hell it was, 46% probability will retrace to the 25. And another 28% will get to the 50. Typically, especially in the ORB, and these, ETH breakouts, I want to see a 50% retracement for short trades. So, Well, here we are. Now, is this a short? The problem I have at this moment is I'm getting ready to sign off and head for bed. And here we are, right exactly at the breakout retest. So let's do something here. First of all, let's get rid of that. Let's put a line, a horizontal line or a box or something. What can we put that'll look normal? Maybe a little rectangle. Let's put a little rectangle around these zones right here. And see what price does with that overnight. Have to be aware of the fact that this is a typical, I would say just looking at this profile from yesterday or Friday, just look at the difference there. There's exactly zero. Is that right? It doesn't look right with the, it doesn't look right with the market profile over here. What I was going to say was there looks like zero excess to the upside, like an unfinished auction, assuming that they would take it higher. And that's pretty weird. But when I look at the market profile, we got all this. Well, that might be what it boils down to. This is market profile. These are the TPOs. This is the volume profile. So it's not even showing these levels over here. It doesn't look to me like. That doesn't look right. That's a big moment, I think. Oh, well, we'll shut her down right now, as a matter of fact, the top of the hour. Have a great evening, wherever you are, or day, or morning, or whatever. And remember to be back here at 0800 Central Standard Time. That's about, oh my goodness, 8 and 3, whatever that is. It's about 11 hours or so. 9 hours. Yeah, 11 hours, exactly. 11 hours, well, 10 hours and 50 minutes from right now. I'll do the market profile. We'll do the market analysis. We'll do the pre-market. We'll set up the statistics and get ready to trade the day. I'm going to turn this thing off before that bites me in the butt. And back we go. So have a great night. I'm going to start wrapping it up. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it very much.